Welcome to Svaneti, one of the most remote places in Europe. I spent a week in this mountainous region in the middle of winter to check out the ski resorts, spa facilities and learn about the fascinating Svan culture. There was a lot of snow and there were even some avalanches, but it was definitely a week to remember. So let's go back to the first morning when I woke up in this snowy region. So we arrived here last night. It took us 15 hours, I think, to get here from Tbilisi. It's not usually meant to take you that long. I think it's usually meant to take about 8 hours. Not gonna lie, the journey up here was hair-raising. There's been a lot of snow and there were a few avalanches, one which happened right in front of our van. But we made it. We made it quite frazzled, about 5 hours later than planned. So we've just been having a bit of a chilled morning so far, but I am just about to get out and see Mestia, which is the city that we are staying at in Svaneti. So just to explain, Svaneti is in the northwest corner of Georgia. So this is in the Caucasus Mountains, and it's very, very snowy here. A village that we're hopefully going to get to at some point this week is actually the highest continually settled village in all of Europe. Obviously, at this time of year, it is February. There is a lot of snow on the ground. As I mentioned, the weather was not great yesterday. Today it's hazy. Visibility is not great, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was yesterday. Like, it's snowing very lightly. Not that much, and I think it is meant to stop snowing soon for the day, but then it is meant to snow again more at night. This is wild. There is so much snow here. I'm walking on one of the paths that's being cleared from the snow, but there was a man walking through the snow on the side of me and he was literally like waist deep. Oh my goodness me. This is one of the snowiest places I've ever been to, for sure. And I feel like I look a bit drunk when I'm walking because I'm like struggling a bit to sort of wade through the different like snowy textures, I guess. So I'm here with Visit Georgia and Traverse. So thank you very much to Visit Georgia and Traverse for organising this. And we are spending the next like 4 days exploring Mestia and Svaneti. But because of our rather eventful journey here last night, a few of us decided to take a bit of a chill morning. Had to catch up on a few work emails and things. Yeah, there's a dog here. Well, there's 2 dogs here. That's a cow. There is a cow walking towards me. There are 2 cows walking towards me. Interesting. Okay. I'm hoping that there is some person with them and it's not just cows. There's dogs here as well. What the hell is going on? So the dogs have chased the cows and then the cows retreated. The dogs don't seem to mind me. They just chased the cows, so that's good, I guess. At least the dogs are on my side. I think I've walked the wrong way. There's another cow here, but she seems quite chill. The first thing I learned about Svaneti was that people used to live in these tall towers to keep a lookout for people from other villages because there used to be lots of village feuds. This is obviously centuries ago. I went to meet up with some of the other people in my group and then we transferred into the van to drive to the next village along. This was the village of Latali, and here you can take a culinary masterclass. These take place at Lila's guest house and they are run by Lila herself, and she teaches guests how to make different Svan foods. First up was this healing vegetarian soup. Quite a lot of the breads here have meat in, but chacha is vegetarian. It's a Georgian spirit and is very strong. It's not to my taste, but it is a must try when you're here. So post masterclass, we've now come for lunch and we've got a huge Georgian spread here.
You here, and in order for them to host you, you basically are a messenger from the god.
I just wanted to say, in the spirit of the tomato,
no one just did that because of mentioning already.
Georgia's hospitality.
The amount of snow here was incredible. There was just meters of snow on either side. Cars were buried in snow, and I do not know how the drivers managed to navigate the vans back to Mestia, but we got back there without a hitch. The best way to warm up is obviously to go in the sauna. Our hotel didn't have one, so we went to Hotel Gestola, which was just down the road, and there was a full sauna here that you could rent out for an hour. Good morning, good morning. It is day number 2 officially in Svaneti, and we are not too sure what we're doing actually today. We were supposed to be heading to Ushguli, which is the highest continuously settled city, town, village in Europe. However, Ushguli is 2,200 metres altitude. We're currently 1,500 metres altitude, so it's a very winding mountain road to get up there, and I don't think it's been cleared since it snowed last night. So I think instead we are taking a cable car up to one of the mountains near here and going in the sauna. So once we met our group, we learnt that Ushguli was definitely a no-go on that day, but also that we could take a cable car up to the mountain resort and go skiing there. And I've been fancying a ski trip for ages, so I definitely signed myself straight up for this. Impromptu ski trip, let's go! Woo! All the gear and no idea. Woohoo! Skiing round 1 was so much fun, so we've come back up to the cable car for round 2. So we are back off the slopes. We just went down twice, so we got the cable car lift up, skied down, cable car lift up again, skied down. There are a few other lifts here as well. There's a chair lift which goes up to a few easier slopes. The cable car that we went up was all red slopes, so it was good. It was good to be back skiing. I used to ski a lot when I was young, but I haven't been in a few years, and then when I was in Lithuania you can ski really close to Vilnius city centre, so I went there. So that was great fun. Didn't fall over once, which I was quite pleased with. This ski resort is called Hatsvali Ski Resort. This is a good place to go for sort of a winter trip with a bit of skiing, but obviously you don't have to do skiing every day, which is kind of what we're doing. Like, I'm really glad we got to squeeze the skiing in, but it's also really nice to be able to spend some days exploring the culture as well.
Just go through. We just wait, or what do we do?
So we drove about 15 minutes from the ski resort, and then we came to this banya, and it's literally like in the middle of the woods. You park up and then you have to walk for about 10 minutes, and it's just this little log cabin. It is covered in snow and it has icicles hanging down from it. It's so scenic. So yeah, this has a sauna inside, so we're going to go and warm up after our ski session. So we have a cold dunk tank and sauna through here. Alright, I've just been in the sauna for about 15 minutes and now there is a cold dunk tank behind me, so I'm going to tempt it. There was also this absolutely idyllic hot tub here, which was just incredible. It was obviously freezing outside, but being in the warm hot tub while the snow was falling was such a surreal experience. Honestly, this was one of my favourite parts of the week. Stopped on the way down for a wonderful view of Mestia, and then I just caught up with some work before dinner. This was our room at Hotel Paliani. I had a vegetable soup downstairs, and we got a relatively early night. Good morning, back on my balcony, and today we are learning a bit more about Svanetian culture. Today we headed over to the Svaneti Museum of History and Ethnography, and snowy walks around Mestia were becoming my new favourite thing. As always, we were met with so many dogs who just wanted to walk with us, and the town always looks so beautiful in the morning light.
She's a mama. Oh, yeah. No, they were saying they cut them off because
in this much snow, it takes so much longer to get anywhere, but the museum was worth the walk. Because the Svaneti region has been quite isolated, here a lot of historic Georgian artefacts were more preserved than they were elsewhere in the country. So this makes it one of the biggest and best exhibitions of ancient Georgian artefacts in the world. We learned a lot about the region, both about its isolation and unique culture, but also how there were a lot of trading routes and trading methods with different groups over the centuries. It's a really fascinating museum and is definitely one to visit if you're interested in the culture and history of this region.
Don't know what I was worried about.
It's Richard's first time on a chairlift.
Hopefully not the last time.
Are you enjoying it?
Well, it better not be, because otherwise that means you live at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, we need to get down as well.
Yeah.
But so this chairlift goes from Mestia, you can walk here from the town, and it goes up to the resort we were at yesterday.
And then you get onto the gondola.
Oh,
is that what they mean by the
that's
halfway
the middle.
point?
Oh, okay.
I see.
Not the middle of
It's
the
not like the
chair.
middle of this.
So basically, after the museum, we had some free time and the weather had cleared up somewhat. So we decided to find the chairlift, which we didn't take the day before. We drove to the midway point, but you can also take the chairlift in the midway point and then take the gondola up to the top of the mountain. We decided to do that to get some photos mainly and to just see it again because it's a very beautiful area. We had lunch in Cafe Lila, which serves incredible Georgian and some Svan food. Then we just had a little walk around Mestia centre. I really wanted to go inside one of the Svan towers. So these historical monuments, which are where people used to live, now quite a few of them are open as museums. They're privately owned and we paid the owners 5 Georgian lari each to have a look around. This is around €2. Now, it's a bit different to the Svaneti museum. On the ground floor, there just seem to be loads of taxidermied animals. And then the further up you go, you just see the inside of the towers. And they're mainly used for storage these days. But the higher you go up, the better the views are. And for me, it was really interesting just seeing the inside of these towers. However, when we got towards the top, it started being just ladders to get up, which I decided probably wasn't the best idea to keep going up them. I was quite nervous about falling down. We were trying to go up to another museum, but I kid you not, these cows would not let us past. I tried to walk past, and this light brown one headbutted me. So we turned around and went back down the hill, but it was like they were slowly escorting us off the property. They just slowly followed behind us, didn't act too aggressive or anything, but threatened us enough to let us know we were not welcome there anymore. Dinner that night was an absolute feast. We've got some incredible Georgian dishes here, so let me show you what is what. So we have fakali, which is a combination of different vegetable starters, including the eggplant roll-ups with walnut paste, which are absolutely delicious. Here we have mushrooms with some melted cheese on top. They're really tasty. And we've got lobiani, which is a stuffed bean bread. We've got a tomato and cucumber salad here with a walnut paste, which makes it absolutely delicious. Chicken Caesar salad, I'm not sure if that's traditional. And then another chicken dish here. And we have a khachapuri, which is similar to a lobiani, but it's a stuffed cheese bread. And these are Mexican potatoes. And we've been questioning these a lot because I've been to Mexico quite a few times and I don't think I've ever eaten a Mexican potato there, but they are a staple on Georgian menus. I'm not quite sure what's Mexican about them other than they're the tiniest bit spicy, but they are very tasty. It is our last day in Mestia, last full day at least, and this means it is the last possible chance we have to go to Ushguli. I'm still not sure how I feel about this. I've heard some wildly different times of how long it will take, between 2 hours and 7 hours for a one-way trip, and we've got to go there and come back, and we've got a up to 14-hour journey tomorrow as well, so not feeling super confident about it, but we'll see what the consensus is and then make a decision. Oh, it's a little bit later. A few of us have made the decision not to go to Ushguli. The roads could be fine, but there is a risk of landslides and avalanches, and after dealing with 9 too many avalanches the other day, I just didn't want the stress again. So we are heading back up to the ski resort. I'm going to have another little ski, which I'm really looking forward to, and just chill at the mountain lodge and then see a bit more of the town later on. So I think we're going to have a good day. It isn't quite what we had planned, and people have gone to Ushguli. I'm not sure if they're going to make it, or if they might have to turn back if there are issues on the road. So I was quite keen to just have another kind of more active day, because we are in the car going all the way back to Tbilisi tomorrow. So we've made it to the midpoint of where the chairlift meets the cable car, and here is where we rented skis the other day, but I'm trying to do this independently now. So I'm trying to find the guy who runs the equipment rental, and we can't find him yet, but apparently he is coming down the mountain on a scooter, so hopefully he'll appear soon. I make these mistakes so you don't have to. We have discovered that the ski rental place is not opening today. I'm not too sure why, it's quite quiet. So I'm currently about to get back on the chairlift and head back down to Mestia and then find some skis there. So it's all part of the adventure, isn't it? I am nearly back in Mestia. Oh, what a palaver. Yeah, this ski rental place is also closed, but I think on the main street of Mestia there are ample ski rental places. So, heading there now. So, if you're coming skiing in Mestia, I would definitely recommend renting in the town, and you can take a taxi up to the chairlift if you don't want to walk with all your gear. That's generally much easier. I've finally made it with my skis back to the top of the slope. I'm in the cafe just now, but I am finally gonna go and hit the slopes. It is snowing, but I think it'll be alright. The conditions aren't quite as prime today. There has been quite a lot of snow, so the powder, there's a lot of powder, so it's more kind of off-piste skiing. I mean, I'd rather that than less snow. My boots were also too tight, but I think I've loosened them now, so that's good. Halfway down the slope, had my first skiing fall, but it was fine. I only fell just into the slope. The conditions are a bit different today. The snow is thicker, so it does feel a little bit more like off-piste skiing, which I'm not very experienced in, but it's not too bad. But I think I'm going to just ski to the bottom of the lift now and then head back up and see everyone and have some lunch. It is absolutely beautiful and it is so quiet. I've never been on a ski slope with this few people before. Like, it's almost a bit eerily quiet, but it is just because not that many people come up here. It's very difficult to get to, but yeah, it's fascinating. I've never skied somewhere like this before.
I feel like yesterday we let it up too soon.
Yeah, maybe. And I am back from the slopes. I'm back in Mestia town centre and I'm just going to have a little walk around, see some of the sights and just make sure that I've seen the whole town basically before we leave tomorrow. There's another cow in front of me. Oh, I don't like these cows. Ah! Alright, the cow's crossing the road.
Why did the cow cross the road?
Alright, so yeah, I'm just having a little walk around the town and just making sure I've seen everything that there is to see. Now this is quite hazardous. The snow has started to melt. It's not cold, like I don't know exactly what the temperature is right now, but I mean it's probably above freezing because the snow has turned to slush. I can actually see the road and there's a lot of cars and a lot of cows. So I might wait until, actually if I cross the road I'll be on a pavement, so let's do that. It takes a very long time to walk around just because there's ice in some places, snow in other places, and yeah, like I say, a lot of cows and a lot of dogs as well. So I'm now just in front of the central bus station, and here's where you get bus tickets if you want to go to anywhere really. Tbilisi, Kutaisi, Batumi, Zugdidi and Ushguli, which is where the rest of the group have gone today, and all over Svaneti. Actually, this is really useful to know as well. It looks like there's a WhatsApp number and it says specifically says English. So if you're coming to Mestia, screenshot this because I'm sure you could send them a message before you come here to ask them about transport. I do feel like Svaneti is a tough place to live because you have so much snow for so much of the year. There are a lot of avalanches here in the snowy season, and I think it can be very cut off from the rest of the world. This is an isolated region for sure, but it's nowhere near like the most isolated of villages. There are plenty of other villages like in Svaneti that are much more isolated, and there's also other parts of Georgia like Tusheti which aren't accessible at all in the winter. I mean, it's a marvel that we've made it here really. But Mestia does have everything you need in a town. There's a pharmacy just behind me. There's a police station, there's a town hall, there are ample hotels, so it is quite well set up for tourists, and it does mean that all the amenities you kind of need in a town are here. I even found a cafe with soy milk earlier. I think living here would definitely pose some challenges, but also I was chatting to the lady who works at the guest house yesterday, and she actually moved here from Tbilisi and she said she absolutely loves it. And I said to her, you know, can you travel much like in the winter? And she said, well, not always, but she said I don't need to, I've got everything I need right here. And it is true, there is everything you need for day-to-day life. Like, we've had a couple of people on our trip need to see the doctor and they've managed to do that. So there's a hospital, like I say, police station here, town hall here. I'm gonna go into a spa shop, like the spa general shop that you see all over the world, and show you around there. So the spa is just behind me, so let's go and see what it has on offer. So we've got plenty of dairy products, milk and some yogurts and juice. We've got some cereals and things here, loads and loads of snacks. So if you need any snacks in Mestia, this is definitely a place to come. Lots and lots of soft drinks, bottled water, although you can drink the tap water here, that's not a problem. Gin cocktails and beer. I've not found any Georgian beer in like Svaneti so far, which is a bit strange. Then we've got some spreads and things, some sodas. Here we have frozen kinkali and some other dumplings. Then we have some more beers, tomato sauces. I think you could probably pick up stuff to make a pasta dish. Yeah, there's pasta there, and there's tomato sauce there, olives. So you could tuna over there. So you could definitely make a basic meal. But I don't know about anything a bit more sophisticated. There is some chilled meat here. It's processed stuff, but plenty of vodka and chocolate, which is what I'm in here for. Grab a milker. It's been a hard day on the slopes. Oh, they've not got any plain milker. To get the one with nuts. Okay. And then plenty and plenty of wine, of course. Coffee, biscuits. More coffee, more biscuits. And that is pretty much it. We also have some crisps and some other little snacks here. Also, I'm wondering if this is like fake jelly popping candy chocolate. It looks a bit like the logo. Looks like there's some jelly in it. Maybe some popping candy? Might give it a go. I'm in the queue now. Amajaba. Madaba. Alright. Chocolate secured. They do have some quite funky architecture here as well, like this behind me. It's a public service hall. I'm quite enjoying this sort of modernist style of architecture. Right. Let's have a little walk down that side and then I might loop back round on the way back to the hotel. There are quite a few cafes and restaurants to eat in this centre area of town. We went to Erti Kava, which is just behind me. This one here, which does do soy milk. Amazing. First soy milk coffee I've had in a long time. We also went to Cafe Leila for lunch, which was really cool. I think we might be going back there for some drinks tonight. I've literally walked like 50 metres from the cafes, and this is Hotel Posta, which is, yeah, the most central of all the hotels our group has stayed at. It looks very nice. All drinks are for girl here, but it's not open until the summer. This is a local traditional restaurant. It just serves things like lobiani, which is a bean bread, khachapuri, which is the cheesy bread, and dumplings, which I haven't actually seen that many of here, and cheesy mashed potato, which is another Svanetian staple. It tastes a little bit like polenta. Not sure if I love it, to be honest. Oh, this is a nice view. We actually walked over here with the skis earlier, but this is a way back to the hotel. It's the final stretch to Hotel Paliani. Oh, this snow is something else. It's so difficult to walk in. It's not as icy now, but it's just slush everywhere. And like I say, I'm walking like I'm drunk. I've not had anything to drink. Oh, and I think it's the fact that I'm 1,500 metres above sea level as well. I'm feeling the altitude a bit too, especially on the uphills, which doesn't bode well for Everest Base Camp, which I'm doing in about 6 weeks. So a little bit later and I'm back in the hotel, had a shower and warmed up, but I just thought I'd give a verdict on this Max Fun bar, Fake Marvellous Creations. It's alright, it tastes a bit like the jelly popping candy Marvellous Creations bars, but it doesn't have actual popping candy in it. It has more like biscuits, but it also has the kind of jelly. Like, I kind of see what they're trying to do, but it doesn't quite meet the mark. So we drove back down the mountain, and this was the road where we were stuck in avalanches a few days prior, and because we were driving down in the light, we could actually see where some of the avalanches had happened, and it was quite sobering to see in the light because we saw where the snow had been, but also like there were some big rocks that had been disturbed as well. But it was a calm, uneventful drive down. The weather was much better, and you can see just how much the road varies depending on the weather conditions. So while I really loved my time in Mestia in winter, I would recommend that people don't drive on this road or even get in a van or a car on this road during stormy weather, because our experiences on it, going up and going down, couldn't have been more different. We have made it to the bottom of the mountain. Oh, I think from now on I'm always going to measure my journeys as a success if there were no avalanches. So we're down near Ushguli now. I think we're in Ushguli at a petrol station, just getting some snacks, and then we're driving a couple of hours and stopping for lunch, and then making the rest of the journey back to Tbilisi. It is the next day. I have had a decent sleep, so we've got one more day in Tbilisi and we're going to be filming some more things here, but I thought I'd just do a little roundup of our time in Svaneti. So would I recommend travelling to Svaneti in the winter? I would say if you're going to travel to Svaneti in the winter, you need to be very well researched, and you need to really know exactly what kind of conditions to expect on that road. We didn't really have any idea of how the likelihood of avalanches. We didn't know that we'd get stuck in them, and like I've said in the video, like there was a time when we did feel like we were in danger. So I think it's very important to do that research. I do think we were unlucky with the weather. There was a big storm. I have heard that it was the worst weather they had in 20 years, but there are, like, avalanches do happen in Svaneti every year. So I do think it is very important to do your research and know exactly what you're getting yourself into if you drive on that Javari to Mestia road in the winter months. However, lots of people do drive it. People drive on it every day. The drivers are, for the most part, the drivers are very experienced and they know what they're doing. They know where to stop, where there isn't avalanches, etc. But there is always a small risk that something could happen. You can also fly to Svaneti, to Mestia in the winter. Planes didn't seem to be taken off every day when we were there because of the weather conditions. So again, this can change depending on the weather, but that is also a possibility. And they're not too expensive, actually. I'll put some information in the description about that. So if you do decide to get to Mestia in the winter, there is quite a lot waiting for you there. It is really, really beautiful. The ski slopes are nearly deserted, and they are, you know, it's pretty good skiing. Then it's not the hugest network of ski slopes, but it's good if you want to go somewhere quiet, if you want to go somewhere very affordable for skiing. There's also the sauna was lovely, the Papaskel Banya. Just walking around the town was very nice as well, and just enjoying the atmosphere, seeing the Svan towers, learning about their history. Then there's a few cultural things you can do as well. It's a really rich cultural area. Then there's Ushguli, which we didn't go to because I was just couldn't deal with another road, but our group did go and they enjoyed it, and they said the road was for the large part okay, although there was a risk of avalanches on that road as well. So again, it's important to just be aware of what could happen on that road and make your own informed decision. So that is Svaneti in winter. However, I've not been, but I imagine Svaneti in summer would be an entirely different ball game, and I've spoken to a few people who've been in Svaneti in the summer, or people who lived in Svaneti, and it sounds like it is an incredible hiking destination. You've obviously got all of the culture is year round, not got the skiing, but the hiking trails are so much more expansive than the ski slopes. So to be honest, I would probably say the best season to visit Svaneti is the summer, when there's no risk of avalanches. There seems to be quite a lot more to do in that season as well, and this is from someone who has a blog called europeanwinter.com, so you can tell I'm not biased. So that's my verdict. It is an incredible region of Georgia, and I do think it is well worth visiting, but I just think it is very important to be careful on that road because it was very scary for a moment. And I do wish I wish I'd been able to have an experience there without that journey to begin with, because it would have been really cool to just sort of go in there in a nice relaxed pace and be able to experience it, but never mind. Maybe I will make it there one day, but I will not be getting on that road for quite a long time. Because I need some time away from that road. So I think that's about everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm about to record another video into Please See Now, so do stay tuned for that. Bye!